adorable.
Yeah, it's a little village.
At 5 a.m., there's a knock on the door.
You don't get out now, I may not be able to get you out. And we're like, what?
What?
The river had flooded and swelled. The way you exit is down by the river,
which was flooded.
You got to go this way, and there I got to go that way.
Another tree. It's a great place. We would suggest when it's not raining.
Today's video is going to be recounting a bit of an adventure.
Yes, it is.
Just north of I-44 in Lebanon, Missouri, there is the beautiful Bennett Springs State Park.
I have to admit, when you say beautiful, it is a beautiful park. It really is.
Yeah. We were actually really looking forward to this. We had booked a couple of nights there. We did have to change campsites because it is a popular place. A lot of fishing. A lot of people come out there.
If you love fishing, this is your spot. Get your pole, get here, go fishing.
Yes, it's sort of like right on a river, creek. I'm not sure which it is, but it's located far enough, maybe about 20 miles from the interstate. So
there's a hatchery right there too.
Yes, exactly. And there's you can rent cabins. It's not just spaces.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the cabins. There's what else? There's like a restaurant.
There's a restaurant,
like
a
huge
lodge. Grocery store. I mean, the store is huge.
Fishing supplies.
I mean, it's not just food. I mean, fishing supplies and everything. A church?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. There's a little church there.
I was like, what's that?
Yeah, it's like...
It's adorable.
Yeah, it's a little village sort of within the park or adjacent to the park. I don't know. So, but getting in, you'll go up Route 64, and you have to cross a bridge to get then into the park. Or there is an alternate, you might see online, there was an alternate route in 64A. And that had height restrictions, so it wouldn't be applicable to RV.
There's the picture for the height restrictions.
Well, I was checking in preparation for this video, and at the time we were there, I think it was closed, and it is still closed. So they may have permanently closed that access because it is limited to height restricted.
Well, and the bridge is a little questionable too.
Yeah. So you just got to check that out.
Yeah, especially for RVs.
Yeah. So you couldn't get in with an RV anyway. So we're just going to talk about that the normal entrance, which is right off of 64.
But you can pass it because we passed it on our way. If you're not paying attention.
Yeah. I don't know that we quite went that far, but yes, if you kept going up 64, you would eventually come to the intersection where that is. Okay. So jumping right in, you will have to go through the entrance booth, park entrance booth, to get to into the park and any of the campgrounds, and you'll check in right there with the host. That was pretty easy.
Very easy.
There are 4 campground sections here, and they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4.
Convenient. It's huge. I mean, there's a large amount of camping, and from what we understand, because of fishing, there's a lot of people who fill up this place.
Yeah, so it's crazy. We were able that first night to get a site in the lower campground, which is by that river/creek.
Yeah.
So great, beautiful views. We did come in a little bit late, so we couldn't enjoy it all, but we're hoping the next morning to be able to do that. And then
it was really nice because most of that is pull through RVs.
Yes, so that section. And yeah, thank you for mentioning that, because those are all, I think, pull through spaces on that lower section. Because we're the 45 feet and had the trailer, it was just easy for us. And those are also all electric sites. Not all the rest of the sites in the campground are electric, so you just got to watch for that. There's like sort of vault toilets,
there's a nice dump station right there.
The dump station and the water fill are also down on that lower part. Now, when you come in and you go past the
gate
entry booth, that campground 1 is right on your right side. But if you look ahead of you, is this steep hill, like literally like that.
Up. Can you see? Oh, well, it just keeps going. It's like the trek to heaven. It just keeps going up.
So we were like, we're gonna have to get up that thing tomorrow, because the second night we were actually scheduled to stay in campground 2, which is sort of at the top of the hill, 2, 3 together, and then 4's off.
Not a problem. We'll be a lot of daylight. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, right?
Not a
And
problem.
the lady will climb at 10 miles an hour.
there.
up that hill.
We'll get up there, but we'll get there. She'll help us.
So we got settled, got plugged in, and just had dinner and relaxed a little bit.
It's like, this is nice.
You went to explore, took some photos.
So you guys can enjoy what you're tomorrow. Seeing, right? And we'll have a good time. So we dropped to bed. We called it a night. Oh, it was nice. Yeah, but it was weird because a lot of noise going on.
A lot of commotion. We're like, what time is it? What are these people crazy?
Sleep?
Fishers getting fishing.
Maybe you want to fish early in the morning. Be up right at dawn.
That's true, right?
Maybe. And I poked my head out the
Well,
window.
you are nosy like Alice Kravitz, right?
What's going on outside? Okay, so there I was. And I didn't see anyone. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, like everyone on one side of us, like most people, like they had disappeared. It's
like, okay.
Is everyone checking out or
checking out early? Maybe they just want to get somewhere earlier tomorrow morning. I didn't stress about it.
And this was like 4 a.m. a little after.
Yeah.
And then we continued for the next almost hour to hear commotion, and people are like, what? We're like, why are people packing up at this time?
What is going on?
And it's pitch dark because not a lot of lighting.
You can't see anything. There's like, it's out in the middle of nowhere, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then
what everyone dreads,
at 5 a.m. there's a knock on the door. They're kind of going, oh crap,
like,
what do we do? What's going on?
Open the door, and there stands the ranger.
The happy ranger. Hello. How are you doing?
Just so you know.
Get out of here.
If you don't get out now, I may not be able to get you out. And we're like, what?
What? It had been raining. Lots of rain.
The river had flooded and swelled during the night. And thank goodness for this ranger. Just really diligently getting everyone out. The way, unfortunately, that this campground one is laid out, it's one ways and they're angled spaces,
right?
Which are great for pull-throughs.
Yes, and great to get out.
Yes,
normally.
Yes, but unfortunately, the way you exit is down by the river,
which was flooded. Yes. And when I say flooded, look at the pictures we're showing you. Flooded. Okay.
So we actually had to go the opposite way.
Which meant cutting across the grass.
We were like this, and we had to go like this.
At 5 a.m. when there's no sun.
Completely dark. And that's why the people in the large fifth wheel across from us, the space we had to cut through, had to get out before we could get out. So we literally, I was in a poodle puddle, unplugging the electric and getting everything, and
it's still raining, and the floodwaters are coming up. I mean, Noah's Ark is happening here. Let's get out of here.
And so, like, we got out, and there's just like, just find a place up the hill, and we're like, okay.
Okay.
So we didn't want to do too much wandering because we didn't want to get us stuck in a spot because, again, our maneuvering limited.
Yeah.
So we just hung out by the restroom showers in Campground 3, right next to 2. And then when it got light out, we went and found our space in Campground 2. Nobody was in it. So we
pulled right in. Now, it was very interesting.
For the next night.
Yeah. And it was very interesting because the ranger, a different ranger, came by and says, how did
you get in here?
How did you get in here? And we're kind of going, because this is where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, someone's going to be here. It's going to be us.
It's us. We're the ones who are supposed to be here.
So we did make the long trek down the hill.
Walking down the hill. We didn't drive. We walked downhill. Now, when you walk downhill, you got to walk uphill. Right?
Exactly.
So we walked downhill.
And I think we foolishly did that trip several times.
Yes. I don't know what
over the course of the next day.
I mean, we had to get ice cream. Didn't we at the store?
We did ice cream one day.
So that's a good reason to walk down the hill.
Took additional photos.
Yes.
Well, that first trip, though, was to check in legally and legitimately.
Yes.
And they had closed it for a bit, but then they were letting people in. So they are set up for this situation. There are 2 emergency exits. One down by across from Campground 1, which takes you at a weird angle
across the tiny
muddy
bridge,
track, and literally like a bridge that is maybe like it's a culvert type bridge.
Yeah.
So, and we had seen where people had gone off, and we're like, I'm not going out there.
When you say gone off, it was off the edge. Like I was wondering, did they? Howard? Oh.
Yeah, and so that kind of took you out a back way that wasn't flooded. And then we did ask, and they did say, well, you know, there is out at the back of Campground 4, you know, a road and the gates open.
Yeah, just go ahead and go out there.
So what ended up happening? We enjoyed ourselves.
We did. It's a great place. We would suggest when it's not raining, enjoy yourself there. Okay.
We did, like you said, we went, explored the store.
Yes. I walked up to other campgrounds. I mean, it's a beautiful park. It really is. Great for RVing, I think.
I agree. And the facilities outside of Campground 1, which has just a little vault shower, single, it's weird.
Right.
There's the showers were nice. You know,
they even have a pool there, by the way. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right.
It's there in summer.
It's going to be seasonal, right?
It's a seasonal summer, but a pool at a state park.
Yeah, and it wasn't super expensive. No. So it's a great place. It's like 20 minutes off the beaten path, off the interstate, but it's well worth it. To kind of finish this story, finally, when we did leave the following day after our second night was up, we debated. We walked all the way to the end of Campground 4, and there's a long sort of loop, and walked the entire
exit road. Can we do it with our rig and our trailer?
And I was like, okay, remember, here I got to go this way, and there I got to go that way.
Another tree,
a big rut.
All right, stay on that side.
and we made it out.
We survived. We survived the flood.
We survived the flood.
Yes. Noah and his children. We survived the flood.
Yeah. So these are some of the adventures you'll deal with on the road.
Oh,
and
yes.
Normally we would do this as a normal review had it not been for the Great Flood. And you can see, literally, I think it flooded 8-9 feet because you can see it's to the top of signs.
It's just crazy.
And that height limitation on that 64A bridge, you can see it's.
When I originally took the sign, and then when I took the sign at the flood, you could see the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But if you do want to stay, we would agree. It's a beautiful park to stay in if you can get a spot. Remember, they sell out. Pull-throughs, great for RVs.
Yep.
You know, and if you leave the normal way, no problem.
It's no problem.
Okay, so I would say yes. And if you're a fisherman, 100%.
And there is one pull-through space in Campground 2.
And we used it.
Mm-hmm. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video, enjoyed the story.
Yes.
Let us know some of your stories.
We want to know your adventures.
Have you gotten flooded or had any other interesting things happen?
Something happened to your rig along the way?
We have videos like that.
Oh, they're coming.
All right. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and as always,
keep on trekking.